Well, congratulations, Kevin. Here's your new Roc R Line, and guess what? What did we say? 870 across there, along this way, and 940 across the top. So being a black roof with your roof racks on, I'm sure it's going to look great. But again, congratulations, this is your new car. Tomorrow you'll be picking it up and it's going to come with 2 keys. 2 keys will give you access to the car via the remote control on the keys. And then of course on the side of the car you've got what they call keyless entry. So if I was going to lock the car, I just press this whilst my car's in my pocket. If I want to, pressing this here. If I want to unlock the car, I put my hand on the inside, and of course the mirrors fold out. So let's get into it. 2 keys. Fuel. Going to be running 95 inside this car. Alright, 95 only, nothing less. Comes with ample boot space in the back. It's a good looking car from behind. Of course you can see that it's easy lifting and it's automatic. Now one little tip for you, if you don't already know, if I wanted to change the height of that, I could pull it down to my height that I require, i.e. you'd only do that if you was bumping into something. I hold this button down here. The confirmation of that height now has come through with a blip. Now if I want to change that back to the original factory setting, I push it all the way back up, and again I'm looking for recognition. There you go. Alright, inside the back here you'll find that you've got your spare wheel and a jack. 5-year warranty and a 5-year roadside assist. There's a cover over the back here, and of course the rear seats fold forward if required. So I'm going to close this off, and there we go. As it closes down, we've got plenty of room. Now, like the access into the back of the car, there's plenty of that. And in the styling that we've got out of this car today, black with white with a black roof, it's one of the most sought after colours combinations in all of the Volkswagen T-Roc fleet. Slightly faster charges down here, so the new HS8 BCs, and of course to release the rear seats all you do is pull that forward. There is a little comfort area in the middle here for someone that might be a backseat passenger. They've got a little bit of room for, say, refreshments, and of course just in the very back here there is also additional slots for storage. Getting into the passenger side, first things we see is ample space in the front, and of course the R Line badging all the way through, embroidered into the seats. Have a look from this side. It's a stylish looking car. Looking into the glove box, we'll find the service book and for the service records on the car. And then of course you've got your gear stick and a little bit of storage here if needed. Right, we'll go right round to the front of the car, and of course let's have a look. As I say, one of the most prestigious and sought after models in the range of the T-Rocs, and again your 0800 number for your roadside assist is just here in the window. Right, let's get inside. Let's play with a few things. Driver's side door. You've got your windows up and down. You've got your mirrors, your heated mirrors, and of course your folded mirrors here. And then beyond that we've got electric seats. We've also got down the bottom here our lighting cluster, so I've stuck that to auto, and then of course your wipers on the right hand side, and then on the left hand side we've got our lighting. If you want to open the boot from here or the lift back, pulling that is going to achieve your goals. Just down there on the right hand side is for under the bonnet. Opening that up is relatively simple. So let's get into it. So as I jump into the car, first thing I see is going to give me a little bit of a warning. I've got a door open, so there's my door, and then of course as I close the door, the car's going to ask whether or not I'm in the car or not. So I'm going to push the start button, and of course the first thing that pops up is all the dials giving me information around the car, lighting everything up and giving me obviously access to my infotainment system. But first things first, in front of me is my gauges, which are showing me P for park on the right hand side, and if I change that into any other gear, either reverse, neutral or drive or sport, that will also change inside there. Now I can change the views of this if you want me to, but in the meantime just keep with what you're already up to, because of course you can learn the car as you go along. This is a library, what I call a library, on the right hand side, and it gives me access to the assistant systems, navigation, the audio system. As you can see, I'm toggling through vehicle status, vehicle data. Now vehicle data is also can be toggled up and down just by using these two here, and in this particular case there's speed, and again it's really touch. You don't really have to press those gauges too hard, but of course you can go through and see consumption, overall view. We'll leave it on, we'll go back to range at the moment. Let's go back through there. We'll go back to range, and then you can monitor just how efficient the car is when you're driving it. Right hand side is our fuel, left hand side is our temperature, and right down the bottom there you'll see whether or not we're in cruise control, and also our distance display for the ACC. Right, so I'm going to start it up for a second here, and then I can be able to show you how all of that works. To turn on the cruise control is virtually just up here. Set that up and then off we go. Your distance control between the car in front of you is monitored between here and here, so we're going to set, and then you can just toggle that back as far as distances go. And then once you've found your distance between the car in front of you, you give you an example. If you're traveling at 70 and they're traveling at 60, you pull up behind it, the car will decelerate and keep you a safe distance from them without bumping into them. Oh, one of the nice little features is that during summertime, during wintertime, you'll be able to turn on your heated steering wheel. Down here on the bottom side, you've got your heated seats, so either on or off. 3 stages to that, and then of course it's all touch here with your temperature control, so you can turn the temperature down, you can sync it if you like or unsync it, and have individual heats on either side of the car. You can recycle it obviously, and then of course if you wanted to go through the car itself, you can go through the car and just get into menu here, and at a glance you see all the fundamentals around the car and how they operate. Now in one case I might go into settings and change the date and the time. I don't need to do that in this particular case because it's 3:04 in the afternoon. So we've got radio stations are in here already. We go back to menu, we've got our telephone that's already ready to be set up, and I'll help you set up on the day. There are other settings inside the car, so that's all good to go. Right, and then of course then there's the car itself. So outside of the car, we've got settings inside here also, lighting, and then instrument cluster, the date and time, the seats, the park lights, lighting's already set up, so you're all good to go. Navigation, that's also got a system inside here, but if you decide you're going to use your app, you can use your Apple CarPlay by utilizing one of these ports here, and then connecting that to your phone. So that's the only way really for that to operate. So that would be the best thing for you to do. Now mode wise, as we go through the car again and we start the car up, one of the things we do is we can change the mode of the car. So economic, normal, sport or individual. If you like it in sport, you can do it from here also, just by pressing this button. Otherwise you just touch the screen. We'll leave it in sport for you now. I'm sure you're going to zip away out of here. Alright, so that's really pretty much us. Congratulations, thanks for buying a car from us again, Stiebel Eltron. Enjoy your car, Kevin. Thanks, Jason. Appreciate it, and please let me know if you've got any other feedback or you've got any questions. Talk to you soon. Thanks very much. See you tomorrow.